Good morning, y'all. So I did one card and then I flipped it over and there were two stuck to it. So I was excited. I do this for myself anyway. And so I was like, okay, I'll just post it because I had some people tell me that they enjoyed it. So here you go. These are the cards that I pulled today. And then I'll have a translation for John 10:10, just because it's a little, I don't know, I like to dig into translations, into like all the different ones too. It says, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So it's like, okay, and what does that mean, right? Okay, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. It is what it is. I love that one. That's one of my favorites. So yeah, I will post the translation to this one. And then also, of course, as always, if you've been watching me, you have been learning a little bit about my stance on faith and how I talk about that I don't discriminate, I guess is the word that I use, against, different spiritual beliefs, as I have been through them all. And what you may not know, especially if you have not read my first book, even if you did read my first book, like I've said before, there are thousands, maybe not thousands, okay, hundreds, yeah, probably hundreds of layers in my book that you would probably have to read countless times to really see the different layers. And that's why I will spend my entire life teaching and going through my book, because I have a lifetime of layers to talk about in my book that are not obvious. Some are and some are not. Some, it's like Shakespeare, and reading it as conversational tone, which is how I write, you might not pick up on it, which is kind of the point. Some, cryptic stuff, which is like, okay, but if you put all of it together piece by piece, anyway, so my avid readers out there, I know that so many of you are like, oh yeah, I picked up on this, so that's awesome. But for those who just kind of fly through it and are like, whoa, what the hell just happened to my brain? What is that? What was that? Holy crap, like your life, whoa. Those people should read it again and again and again and just look at the different themes. But anyway, so the point being was that faith is a huge underlying tone throughout my life, and therefore my stories and my books. So in book one, I didn't lay it on too thick with the faith, because I knew I was going to in book two. So for book one, what is this saying? Promote my snap. No, what does that even mean? Stop. Okay. All these notifications. I'm showing my age right now. Like, what? What's happening? I can't stand notifications. Like, I always have them off. Anyway, that's why I don't text or call back for a long time sometimes. But anyway, so for book two, what is going on, you guys? Okay, your post spotlight. I don't know. Okay. Sorry. I just sent that first snap and then all this stuff started popping up. So anyway, so the second book is a lot heavier into my faith, and what that means is walking through all different kinds of spiritual practices, religions, and just kind of learn. I wanted to learn it all because that's how I am. That's who I am. I mean, it takes me 6 months sometimes to just pick out a shirt, or like standing in the grocery aisle for 30 minutes staring at one item. I mean, I take forever to make certain decisions. And so when it comes to my faith, I think it's just a lifelong journey, because I'm like, how am I supposed to decide one religion and one church and one faith? Like, once I became an adult, As you know, book 1 ends at 14. But so book 2, like when I'm an adult, it was very overwhelming because I'm like, well, yeah, of course I want to go to church, or of course I want to hang out with you guys. And, I want to go to all the churches. I love all of you people. But it was so overwhelming to me. I'm like, why is that? Why aren't we all in one church? I'm so confused. Like everybody believes very similar things and then doesn't like the other churches. I'm so confused. It was very overwhelming. And so here I am at 40, still kind of, it's hard for me to choose one religion or one spiritual practice or one church because I'm like, I like all of it. And so I think at that point, it's just about finding a church that's best for you and that fits, your location. And just finding a good, if you're looking for groups, like I like Bible study and stuff like that. I think it's interesting and I think it's fun. So if you do like different churches or different spiritual practices like me, maybe by the time you're 40 or somewhere in your adulthood, you may just end up choosing something like, okay, I'm just going to kind of do it all and do, some things at home and then watch. Now it's online. Like I'm always online on church now these days, especially when I used to travel alone throughout my 20s, they didn't have online church. And so I was going to church like 4 to 6 times a week in all different cities. And it was amazing and it was awesome. But now I just do it online. So I'm in my home going to 20 different churches a week. Like, do you know what I mean? And so, it's cool, but I also lose community. And that's one of the biggest things that Jesus preaches, obviously, is to get into community, but also you also need isolation in order to process and build yourself. So process what you're working on and build yourself. So anyway, all right, I'm not going to get into all of that because now I'm going to get into coaching mode, and I am just on here to share my cards that I pulled this morning. So I hope everyone has a good day. I don't know that I'll be doing this every day, like I said, but I don't know. I do it for myself, so we'll see. I don't know why I started randomly posting this because I've been doing this every day for a little while, but I don't know. Who knows? Okay, I still need to wake up and get myself together. I've been up since 4 a.m. and yeah, I don't know. I hope everyone has a good day, and don't ever let anyone make you feel pressured to choose a religion or spiritual practice, because even if you don't like the words God or Jesus, or you don't believe in it, or, a higher being or whatever, like, okay, but are you a good person? Like, do you contribute to society? Like, what do you do for your community? Or, are you a good father? Are you a good mother or husband, wife? Like, are you, contributing to society in that way, which is being, a parent is one of the biggest ways to contribute to society. You are literally raising human beings. So, like, do it well. You don't have to belong to anything. You don't have to preach the word of God, like, to be, so I don't know. That's just, I'm in the middle with pretty much everything in my life is pretty balanced. And I don't know. I don't like making people feel pressured. I don't like feeling pressured. I don't understand why religions pressure people, because it just makes people go the other way and not want anything to do with God or Jesus. And so it's kind of like, well, now thanks to all of the pressuring and shoving religion down people's throat and trying to literally force people to be in love with Jesus and preach the word of God and read the Bible and do all these things that maybe you're not comfortable with. Maybe you would be comfortable with it if it wasn't force-fed to you. And, we're not even going to get into all of the religious ABUSE. I don't know if I can say that word on social media or not. I spell things a lot on social media these days. So many influencers or thought leaders or whatever they call them, whatever we are or who they call themselves or whatever I am, I have no idea. But I mean, I'm an advocate. That's what I call myself. An author, obviously, and coach. But I don't know the rules of social media these days. I just hear so many influencers and coaches, thought leaders, like whatever, say, oh, I got flagged for this, and oh, I said this word, and I said that word, and so, I don't want to get flagged or kicked off of my social media, so I'm just trying to, I'm like, do I need to make up my own new language? That would be fun. All right, well, have a good day, people, and, I don't know, live your life, be a good person. That's all. Be a good person. Okay, bye.